This is Don Durrett, Gold Stock Data. Today I'm interviewing Hugh Agro from Revival Gold. One thing that I like about Hugh and his project, two projects actually, is that he's a development projects that checks all the boxes. And for me, that's really important. So first thing is quality project, which he has two of them. And then an undervalued, highly undervalued project, which all the development projects today seem to be highly undervalued. And then the team, Hugh, I'm very comfortable and confident in him. It's unusual for me to find really quality CEOs running development projects. I mean, it's like maybe 2 out of 10, but most of them are very young. Sometimes don't have a lot of experience.
I don't want to be accused of being old.
Right. I mean, in their 30s, right?
Let's say experienced.
Yeah, experienced.
Okay.
You have that. Been to location. He's in the U.S. and North America, which was fantastic. Insiders, they have strong insiders, so no one's they're not. Usually, what happens if the company doesn't have any insiders and they're very highly undervalued, 8 out of 10 times they get sold before they get to first pour. So that one's really important. And then the last one, which is where we're going to go with you, to let you talk a little bit, is the plan. I want a company that has a plan that knows exactly what they're going to do. And one of the reasons I like Revival so much is because I think you guys have a real solid plan. So they have two projects. So the first one we want to talk about is Mercur in Utah. I want you to talk about, when you acquired it and then the steps from here to get it into production or here to get it construction ready.
Thanks, Don. Great to be with you doing this. I want to start with the team. It's more than just me on the team and doing the heavy lifting here. And I want to call out our VP Engineering Development, John Mker. Wonderful guy, Boise, Idaho based, and his career started with Barrick and then on to create the Fruta del Norte project and then the Stibnite project and of course is now with us doing our projects, Mercur and Beartrack-Arnett. And then our chief geologist, Dan Pace. Dan is a accomplished explorationist. He's a co-discoverer of the Silicon deposit in Nevada, big 12, 13 million ounce gold deposit now for Anglo Gold. So this is a guy who's a mine finder and on our team has been leading the charge on exploration since joining us, based in Salmon, Idaho, familiar with these Carlin type systems of which we have in Utah at our Mercur project, and also the orogenic gold system that we have at Beartrack-Arnett. So these two individuals are key to our technical performance and that plan that you were talking about that's so important to where we're going. We can talk about some of the details of where we're going, but I really want to highlight the people. That's really important to our success. Our CFO, Lisa Ross, keeping a very, very tight lid on expenditures. You talk about ownership. One of the things as management owns about 15% of the stock in Revival Gold, our advisors board and management, is we're careful with the way we spend money. Our G&A run rate is running below $2 million a year, and that's because we've got really strong financial controls, and that's a lot of work in and of itself. And a junior being led by our CFO Lisa Ross. So just calling out the team, all the plans that we'll talk about are because we have the team that can deliver.
Right. So let us know about Mercur. That's going to be your first project, correct?
Mercur's first in the queue. And we've just come out with a PEA, which is really exciting, about $300 million of NAV going up to over $700 million of NAV at contemporary gold prices here. And so there's a ton of leverage in that. We're about an hour from the Salt Lake City, so very close infrastructurally. We've got a lot of advantages in terms of the site. And so for us, the next step is to advance from the PEA, from the preliminary economic assessment, to a PFS. In order to do that, we're going to do infill drilling. We've got about a dozen column tests, heap leach column tests planned, which will add to the variability, understanding of the geological deposit and the potential around the metallurgy. We think there's some potential upside there to what we've assumed in the PEA, but we've got to do the heavy lifting with the metallurgical test work. And the other aspect, of course, is exploration. We're in a Carlin type system. These are the big gold systems that underpin some of the largest and most profitable gold mines in the world, notably in Nevada. And this is the first Carlin type system identified and mined. about 2.6 million ounces of past production here. So we know it's a successful source of gold, and we know that these systems tend to have a lot more when we go deeper. And what's interesting about this situation we came into, we've got 3,000 drill holes in the project, but only less than 0.5% of them have been drilled below 400 meters depth, which is to say we got a ton of potential for additional discovery in this large system, 7,000 hectare land position.
So on your website in your presentation, it says it's going to take you until 27 to get it permitted. So do you think you might be able to have a construction decision in 27?
So 2-year permitting timeline. We've gone through the efforts of sort of planning that out. We've got more work to do on that, but 2-year time frame for permitting. We'll have to complete some survey work on archaeological studies, on wildlife studies. We've already initiated the archaeological work to supplement the data that we have from this long history of mining in this location. We don't see anything that's going to be problematic with that. We're on private land, which is a huge advantage for us in the Western United States. And really importantly, we are in a semi-arid location. So that means we don't need to worry about water and the issues related to water to the same extent as if we had a lot of atmospheric water or groundwater. And that makes the process move a lot quicker. Of course, we're in Utah, ranked #1 in the world for investment in mining by Fraser Institute in their most recent study, and we're in a very special part of Utah for mining and exploration, right next door to a U.S. government weapons destruct site. So we're not worried about the neighbors here. I think this is a really good location for mining, and that's why we can move so quickly on permitting.
Right. I just did an article. I call it the six 10-baggers that I have high confidence in. And you were the one project that people are probably looking and go, Don, what are they doing on that list? Well, the reason why you're on that list is you have 6 million ounces of resources, 2 properties that are both have a lot of exploration potential. Both are about 15,000 acres each. Both have not had full exploration on. Both have lots of drill targets. So you're basically, I think, at least an 8 million ounce company and valued under 100 million with a plan, with 2 projects. The other project is in Idaho, so both North America. So as an investor, I'm not surprised it's jumped. When I wrote that article, I think you were like 65 million or you've jumped to 87 million fairly quickly. People are starting to see it.
Market cap, yeah.
Yeah, your fully diluted U.S. market cap's now up to 87. But it's still, if you get to 8 million ounces, it's still crazy cheap.
It's cheap where it is now. Look, we're trading at about 0.15 times underlying NAV.
Right.
And those NAVs, of course, are way calculated, estimated gold prices way below where you and I think the gold price is going, and where it is today.
Right.
At current gold prices, we're trading at less than 0.05 times NAV. So just think about that, the value leverage there. We're trading at about $11 per ounce of gold in the ground. Or looking at this another way, you can get about 30 ounces of gold per exposure, 100% gold exposure, 30 ounces for every 1,000 shares held of Revival Gold. That's a lot of leverage to upside. Right. And I'd say that the downside risk is relatively low, given the fact we're on proven brownfield sites for mining. We've got a long history of successful mining. And we know that the best places to find more gold, to your point, is where we found it before. Think about deposits like the Detour, the Malartic, Kirkland Lake Gold. These are projects that were cast-offs from majors, and with the focus of a junior and a quality team like the one we have, a lot can be found in the shadow of the head frame past.
Yeah. The other reason I put it on the list is I have a lot of confidence in you. I think you are going to try to build these 3 projects. So it's basically Mercur's first and Beartrack open pit second, Beartrack underground third. And then who knows what else? I mean, we have 3 projects in your pipeline, and I'm confident that this is your baby. I mean, this is your company, and you're going to build it. And so that gives me a lot of confidence. So, good luck with how we're going to all follow you. But I got in early. I feel like I'm going to ride this train for quite a while here, through this whole decade probably, and watch you build this company up. I think you're going to be a leader in this industry. I do.
And thank you, Don. Really happy to be with you.